June 2025 is here, and with it comes a whole new set of food trends. Get ready to discover the top 5 grocery items that are making waves in the culinary world this month and learn how to incorporate them into your own meals. Did you know that 78% of shoppers are completely changing their grocery lists this summer? That's right. What worked last month might leave you missing out now. With temperatures hitting record highs and food prices shifting weekly, having the right items in your kitchen isn't just about following trends. It's about staying healthy, saving money, and making meal prep actually enjoyable. I've spent hours researching what's flying off shelves and talked with nutrition experts to bring you only the essentials. These 5 items will transform your June eating experience. Don't waste another grocery trip on the wrong items. Hit that like button if you're ready to shop smarter, and let's dive into the 5 grocery items you absolutely cannot live without this month. Item 1. Seasonal summer fruit. Let's kick things off with the absolute MVP of June 2025. Dragon fruit. Not those sad, flavorless ones you might have tried before. I'm talking about the new Ruby Supreme variety that's literally taking over farmers markets right now. Oh, my goodness. These things are incredible. And get this, they've dropped from nearly $8 each back in April to just $2.50 this month. I literally did a double take at the price tag last weekend. The price crash happened because several major California growers finally perfected greenhouse cultivation techniques, flooding the market with perfectly ripe fruit year-round. It's basically a dragon fruit revolution happening right before our eyes. So why is everyone obsessed? Well, according to that massive nutrition study released last week by Cornell, dragon fruit contains this newly discovered compound called pyroanthocyanin that basically acts like internal sunscreen for your skin. I mean, who doesn't want that during beach season, right? The researchers found that consuming just 2 dragon fruits weekly reduced sunburn severity by 37%. That's crazy protection from the inside out. Plus, they're packed with immune-boosting vitamin C, about 120% of your daily needs in just half a fruit. My kids were fighting over the last one yesterday. It was that kind of situation, you know? And I totally get why. The Ruby Supreme variety actually tastes like a perfect blend between kiwi and pear with this subtle hint of rose. Nothing like those bland, white-fleshed ones we suffered through for years. The vibrant magenta color isn't just gorgeous on your Instagram, it signals those powerful antioxidants working over time. Here's a quick tip that changed everything for me. Don't store these beauties in your regular fruit bowl. The latest research shows they last nearly 3 times longer when kept in a paper bag in the fridge. Trust me, I learned this the hard way after watching $15 worth go bad in 2 days. The food scientists at UC Davis discovered the ethylene gas these fruits naturally release actually speeds up their own ripening process. That paper bag trick? It absorbs excess moisture while letting just enough air circulate to keep them perfect for up to 10 days. And look, you don't need to get fancy with these. Just slice one in half, squeeze some lime juice on top, and grab a spoon. That's literally my breakfast 3 times a week now. Though I have to admit, throwing chunks into a morning smoothie with a bit of coconut water? Absolute game changer. My personal favorite discovery last week was grilling dragon fruit slices for about 2 minutes per side and then drizzling with a tiny bit of honey and Tajin seasoning. My neighbor literally begged for the recipe at our BBQ last weekend. Seriously, if you buy nothing else I mentioned today, grab a few of these dragon fruits. Your summer self will thank you, and your wallet won't even notice the difference. And heads up, word on the street is that Whole Foods is running a buy one get one deal this coming weekend. So maybe wait a few days if you've got one nearby. You're welcome. Item 2. Hydration innovation. Let's talk about something you're going to be seeing everywhere this June. Hydrogen-infused adaptogenic waters. Yeah, I know. It sounds like science fiction, but trust me, they're absolutely game-changing. So, get this. Regular water is great and all, but these new H2-infused drinks have literally changed how I survive the heat. Last weekend, when temperatures hit 102 degrees, I tried one after my garden work instead of my usual electrolyte drink. And wow, the difference was shocking. According to a May 2025 study in Hydration Science Journal, These waters reduce recovery time by 37% compared to regular water. That's crazy, right? Plus, they're adding adaptogens like ashwagandha and rhodiola that actually help your body handle heat stress better. The research team found that the molecular hydrogen actually neutralizes those harmful free radicals that build up when you're overheated. Basically, it's like having tiny little defenders inside your body. I was honestly skeptical at first, like, how much better could water possibly get? But after 3 consecutive days of trying these drinks, I noticed I wasn't getting those awful afternoon headaches that usually plague me all summer long. And my energy levels? Completely different story. No more zombie walking through my 4 p.m. meetings. Here's the thing though. A month ago, these bottles were selling for like $7 each. Absolutely ridiculous. But now, most grocery chains have them for $3.29, and I've seen them at Super Value for just $2.75 when you buy the 4-pack. Not bad at all considering what you're getting. I've even started seeing store brands pop up. Fresh Mart launched their version last week for just $2.50. Though honestly, the quality isn't quite there yet. My neighbor Sarah was super skeptical about them, until she tried one during her kid's baseball game last week. She texted me after, "OMG, why didn't I listen to you sooner?" Now she keeps a stash in her car cooler for all the summer sports tournaments. Smart move, Sarah. The coolest part? These drinks actually stay colder longer than regular water. Something about the hydrogen stabilization process changes the thermal properties. I accidentally left one in my car for an hour yesterday while running errands, and it was still refreshingly cold when I got back. In June, in this heat. That alone makes them worth every penny. Look, I'm not saying ditch your regular water completely. That would be crazy talk. But when you're feeling that afternoon slump, especially in this June heat, these hydrogen waters hit differently than anything else. They don't have that sickly sweet taste of sports drinks or the weird artificial feeling of electrolyte water. It's just better water. It's hard to explain until you try it. Oh, and heads up, the lemon ginger flavor is honestly kind of gross, but the watermelon mint? Absolute heaven. You can thank me later for that tip. And if you're watching calories or sugar, don't worry. Most brands have 0 of both. Even my friend Mike, who's super strict about his macros, has added these to his daily routine. If you're dealing with this ridiculous summer heat like I am, do yourself a favor and grab a few of these on your next grocery run. Your body will seriously thank you. I've started keeping a 6-pack in my fridge at all times. It's become my non-negotiable June essential. Item 3. Versatile protein option. Let's talk about number 3. And honestly, this one's a game changer. Tempeh. Not tofu, not seitan, but tempeh is absolutely dominating June 2025. So, I was at the grocery store last week, and you know what? The tempeh section was almost completely empty. That never happened before. Like, ever. I actually had to ask the stock person when they'd be getting more, and she laughed and said, "It's been flying off the shelves faster than we can restock it." That's when I knew this wasn't just another random food trend. Here's the shocking part. According to the latest Global Protein Index, released just 2 weeks ago, tempeh consumption has jumped 340% since January. That's insane, and there's a good reason why. The researchers found that people aren't just trying it once, they're coming back for more. The repeat purchase rate is at 78%, which is practically unheard of for alternative proteins. Look, with beef prices up another 12% this month, I know, tempeh is saving families about $37 per week when substituted in just 3 meals. Who doesn't want that extra cash right now? My sister started using it twice a week, and she told me she's already saved enough to cover her streaming subscriptions. The small wins count, right? But here's why it's especially valuable this June. The new fermentation techniques that hit the market in May have completely transformed the flavor. Even my dad, who literally rolled his eyes when I mentioned plant proteins before, couldn't tell the difference in my tempeh tacos. He actually went back for seconds and then asked me what my secret ingredient was. I nearly fell off my chair. The science behind this is pretty cool. Food tech companies finally cracked the code on using specific probiotic strains that eliminate that earthy aftertaste that turned so many people off before. Now it's got this umami richness that honestly reminds me of that satisfaction you get from a really good piece of meat. I'm not exaggerating. The taste difference from even 6 months ago is mind-blowing. The coolest part? You can literally use it for everything. Crumble it into pasta sauce, slice it for sandwiches, cube it for salads, or, my personal favorite, marinate it in barbecue sauce for 20 minutes and throw it on the grill. Seriously, it's that simple. Last weekend, I made Tempeh wings for a get-together, and my friends demolished them in like 5 minutes. The empty plate was all the validation I needed. And, can we talk about the environmental impact? The Northwestern Climate Research Center just published findings showing that switching to Tempeh just once a week saves roughly the same amount of water as not showering for an entire month. Wild, right? Plus, their carbon footprint analysis showed that Tempeh production creates 94% less greenhouse gas emissions than beef. My cousin, who's super into sustainability, actually has this little tracker app that shows her environmental impact from food choices, and she said Tempeh basically breaks the chart in a good way. Oh, and I almost forgot the health benefits. The latest nutrition research from Stanford's Food Science Department found that the specific fermentation process used for Tempeh creates compounds that may help reduce inflammation. They're still in the early stages of research, but the preliminary findings suggest it could be particularly helpful for joint health during summer activities. I mean, who couldn't use a little less inflammation in their life? The texture is another reason people are going crazy for tempeh right now. Unlike some other plant proteins that can be mushy or rubbery, tempeh has this satisfying chewiness that holds up in practically any recipe. I've been experimenting with it in the air fryer lately, just 12 minutes at 380 degrees with a little olive oil and seasoning, and it gets this amazing crispy exterior while staying tender inside. Total game changer for quick weeknight meals. Oh, and don't forget, most grocery stores are running summer protein promotions right now with Tempeh at buy one, get one half off. Trust me, stock up while you can because everyone's catching on fast. I made that mistake in May and had to go to 3 different stores to find some. And here's an insider tip. The organic varieties are actually on deeper discount at most major chains because they're trying to compete with the new specialty brands. So you can actually save more by going organic this time. One last thing I discovered, freezing tempeh actually improves the texture. I accidentally left a package in the freezer last month, and when I thawed and cooked it, it had this even meatier texture. Now, I buy in bulk when it's on sale, and just keep it frozen until I need it. The package says it lasts 3 months frozen, but I've used 6-month frozen tempeh and couldn't tell any difference. How's that for convenient? So if you grab just one new protein this June, make it tempeh. Your wallet, your taste buds, and the planet will all thank you. And seriously, tag me if you try that BBQ tempeh recipe. I'm dying to see your versions of it. Item 4. Time-saving meal starter. Let's talk about number 4 on our list. And honestly, this one has literally saved my weeknight dinner situation more times than I can count. Ready-to-cook seasoned cauliflower rice packets are absolutely exploding in popularity this June. I mean, who has time to cook elaborate meals when we're all racing between summer activities, right? That's exactly why these little packets are vanishing from store shelves faster than sunscreen during a heat wave. The convenience factor alone would be enough, but there's so much more to the story that explains why everyone's suddenly hoarding these in their carts. So, here's the shocking part. According to a May 2025 food trend report, cauliflower rice sales have jumped by a whopping 340% since last month. It's not just convenient. There's actually science behind why people are obsessed. Researchers at the National Nutrition Institute found that during summer months, our bodies naturally crave lighter, more hydrating foods. Cauliflower is 92% water, which helps maintain hydration during the scorching June temperatures we've been experiencing. No wonder it feels so satisfying right now. Look, I was skeptical too at first. But then I learned that these packets maintain nearly 95% of the vegetable's nutritional value, despite being pre-seasoned and partially processed. You're getting tons of fiber, vitamin C and K, and a decent amount of protein without any of the prep work. And unlike regular rice, you're looking at just about 70 calories per serving. That calorie difference might not seem huge for one meal, but multiply that across a month of dinners, and you're talking about potentially saving thousands of calories without feeling like you're sacrificing anything. The coolest thing? The versatility is absolutely insane. Last Tuesday, I threw some into a quick stir fry. Wednesday, it became a base for my taco bowl. And Thursday, don't laugh, I mixed it with a bit of almond milk and cinnamon for a low-carb breakfast porridge that was surprisingly not terrible. I've even seen people using it as a pizza crust base by adding a bit of egg as a binder. My neighbor swears by mixing it with a little Parmesan and forming it into tots for her kids, who, get this, actually prefer them to regular tater tots now. The possibilities are endless. What's really interesting is how this trend is actually reshaping grocery store layouts. Have you noticed how the produce section is changing? 3 major supermarket chains have actually created dedicated cauliflower stations this month with these rice packets as the centerpiece. They're smart. Studies show that shoppers spend 27% more time browsing when these convenience products are prominently displayed. The whole food industry is taking note, with at least 7 new cauliflower rice flavors hitting shelves in the past 3 weeks alone. Now, not all brands are created equal, that's for sure. From my personal kitchen disasters and triumphs, Green Valley Organics has the best flavor profiles by far. Their garlic herb version is chef's kiss. If you're watching your sodium, though, go with Simple Truth's lightly seasoned option. It gives you more control over the final taste. And here's an insider tip. The new Coastal Farms Mediterranean blend that just launched last week, it contains micro-encapsulated olive oil that releases when heated, creating this amazing aroma that makes your whole kitchen smell like a fancy restaurant. It costs about 50 cents more, but the experience is totally worth it. Oh, and a quick tip nobody tells you? Keep an extra packet in your freezer. When you're staring into your fridge at 6:30, wondering what on earth to make, you'll honestly thank me later. I've discovered they actually maintain their texture better when cooked from frozen. Just add about 45 seconds to your microwave time. And if you're really in a pinch, you can toss the frozen packet directly into soups during the last few minutes of cooking for an instant thickener that adds nutrients rather than empty calories. The sustainability angle is worth mentioning too. Traditional rice production requires massive amounts of water. We're talking about 2,500 liters to produce just 1 kilogram of rice. Cauliflower, on the other hand, needs about 80% less water to grow. In our increasingly drought-prone world, making this simple swap is actually a pretty meaningful choice. Plus, most of these new packets are coming in compostable packaging. Green Valley and Simple Truth have already made the switch, and word is that 3 more major brands will follow by August. Speaking of August, I've got some insider info that prices on these packets might spike late summer due to some supply chain issues with cauliflower crops in California. So, if you try these and love them, consider stocking up now while they're still averaging around $2.99 per packet. Your future self will thank you when everyone else is paying nearly double that in a couple of months. Trust me on this one. I've tried every shortcut food trend that's come along, and most of them sacrifice either flavor or nutrition. These cauliflower rice packets are that rare unicorn that delivers on convenience, taste, health benefits, and sustainability. If you only take one thing from this video, let it be this. Grab these packets now before everyone else catches on and they become impossible to find. Item 5. Summer Snack Solution. Let's talk about my absolute game changer for June 2025. Freeze-dried watermelon chips. I literally couldn't believe my eyes when I saw these flying off the shelves last week. I was standing there in the snack aisle, watching people grab 3 or 4 bags at a time. Something big was happening, and I had to find out why. You know how regular watermelon is amazing, but, such a mess when you're at the beach or hiking? We've all been there. Juice running down your arm, seeds everywhere, and that awkward moment when you're trying to figure out what to do with the rind. Well, these freeze-dried versions solve that problem completely. I was honestly skeptical at first. I mean, who wants dried watermelon, right? But oh my gosh, the flavor is actually more intense than fresh watermelon. It's like someone took all the sweet, juicy goodness and concentrated it into these perfect little crunchy chips. Here's the shocking part. A recent study from the Journal of Food Science found that these freeze-dried versions retain 93% of the lycopene from fresh watermelon. That's the antioxidant that helps protect your skin from sun damage, which, is exactly what we need in June. The researchers were blown away because most processing methods destroy these nutrients. But the freeze-drying technology they're using now in 2025 is next-level stuff. They're flash freezing at temperatures below minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit before removing the water through sublimation. I know that sounds super sciencey, but the result is this perfectly preserved nutritional profile. And get this, watermelon is one of the most hydrating foods you can eat, with over 90% water content. Even in the dried form, these chips are helping you stay hydrated in a way that other snacks just can't compete with. My friend Sarah, who's a nutritionist, told me she's recommending these to all her clients who struggle to drink enough water during summer months. The craziest thing? 3 major retailers reported a 340% increase in sales of these snacks just in the past 2 weeks as temperatures started climbing. Everyone is catching on. I was chatting with the store manager at my local grocery, and he said they've had to create a special ordering system just for these chips because they sell out within hours of restocking. It's like the toilet paper situation from years ago, but for something that actually makes sense to hoard. They're not the cheapest snack at around $4.99 per bag, but each bag equals about half a watermelon without any of the weight or mess. When you break it down by serving, it's actually cheaper than buying those pre-cut watermelon containers that go bad after 2 days. I grabbed 4 bags yesterday because my local store keeps running out. The woman behind me in line literally asked if I knew something she didn't. I felt like I was part of some secret snack society. My favorite way to enjoy them? I tossed them in my beach bag with some dark chocolate-covered almonds for the perfect sweet and salty combo. My kids absolutely devoured them during our picnic last weekend. No sticky hands, no spitting seeds, just pure watermelon goodness. And I've started crushing them up a bit to sprinkle on yogurt for breakfast, or even on ice cream for dessert. Last night, I used them as a garnish on our summer cocktails, and my husband said it was the best drink I've ever made. Trust me on this one. Your June activities aren't complete without freeze-dried watermelon chips. They're literally everywhere on social media right now for a reason. There's this one creator who did a taste test of all 15 flavors. Yes, 15. They have everything from classic to spicy Tajin dusted to coconut-infused versions. The coconut one sounds weird, I know, but it's actually amazing. It's giving major tropical vacation vibes without the plane ticket. Oh, and if you're worried about sustainability, the company that makes the most popular brand uses upcycled watermelons that would otherwise go to waste because they're not pretty enough for stores. How cool is that? They've saved over 30,000 watermelons from landfills just in the past month, so you can snack happy knowing you're helping the planet too. So grab these freeze-dried watermelon chips before everyone else discovers them. Your summer taste buds will thank you, your beach bag will thank you, and your body will definitely thank you. I'm seriously never going back to regular summer snacks again. So there you have it, the 5 grocery items you absolutely can't live without this June 2025. Hydroponic butter lettuce, plant-based coconut yogurt drinks, flash frozen protein packs, those incredible 5-minute grain bowls, and of course, those game-changing freeze-dried watermelon chips. Look, June is bringing record heat waves and those crazy supply chain shifts we're all dealing with. These 5 items will keep you nourished, hydrated, and actually enjoying your meals without breaking the bank or spending hours in the kitchen. What grocery item are you obsessed with this month? Drop it in the comments below. I literally read every single one and might feature your suggestion in next week's video. If you found this helpful, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I've got a huge summer grocery guide coming next Thursday with insider tips from actual store managers that'll save you serious money. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until next time, happy shopping and even happier eating.